All right, Craig. We got quite the situation on our hands tonight. We got a chance. Some are saying a puncher's chance. I'm just going to openly admit and say that we need one of these. I'm not saying that this is the one we need, but it feels like this might be the one we need.
One walk-off win on the season still, I think, and it was the opening series, right?
Not enough.
It's like the complete opposite of what we got out of the Reds last season. So would be mighty nice to get one here, continue to build on some momentum. And
like it actually feels like they have a chance if they find a way to walk this off tonight. If they don't walk it off, I mean, the season's still got some life left to it. It's just that it starting to get a little dark, you know?
I mean, we're at that point in the season where literally every game matters. And certainly when you're playing a team that's 52-72 or 42-72,
right?
Those are games you got to have. And I know it sounds crazy to say that you got to sweep a series, and especially a 4-game series, but this is one of those series where it feels like you got to get that sweep, especially with some tough opponents coming up.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're digging yourself out of a hole too a little bit. Just trying to get back to 500. I mean, if you sweep this series, getting back to 500 seems like no problem. And you split the series, or maybe even if you take 3 of 4 in the series, it doesn't feel nearly, I don't know, just doesn't feel nearly as feasible to get back to 500. And I know they can, but
it's just, you go from Miami tomorrow and you go to Milwaukee for a set with the Brewers, and it just feels like any potential setback against the Marlins just sets you up for further setback against the Brewers. So try to get as much momentum as they can get here, and see if they can't carry that into Milwaukee and pick up a series win against the Brewers, which would go a long way to potentially getting back in the wild card race. So I'm not sure where you are in the game. I've got
2-2.
Jonathan India just fouled off the 2-2 pitch.
Yep, we're close then. I don't know if we're dead on, but we're close. 2-2.
We're close.
13, 12, 11, 10.
Okay. You're a couple seconds ahead of me, it seems like.
All right. Well, I'll delay my reaction by 2 seconds. How about
12,
that?
11, 10, 9. Yep. It's all good. You can ruin it for me. If India or
Ready?
somebody else
I'll do it. I'll do it perfectly timed for your thing. Damn it. Did I get it right?
That was perfect.
All right.
Legitimately perfect. Right as he fouled that ball off, that middle hanging breaking ball.
Yeah. I beg of Elly just to find a way on base and not steal under any circumstance.
Oh no. Did you say damn it to a pop-up, or did you say damn it to a foul ball?
A pop-up. You're still on a
I'm still on a foul ball. Dang it.
Oh, no.
Oh my God.
We're way behind. We're so far behind.
Don't do anything about it.
Dude.
Don't do anything about it. I'll catch up.
We might as well be on AIM chat, man. We thought we were right on track, and we were a whole pitch behind.
Oh, let me see. I can catch up.
Well, I'll do my best to delay my reaction.
No, I got it. We're good. Hold on. Number 9 away. All right, I'm 1-1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 pitch. Okay. Fouled back, 97-mile-an-hour fastball at the top of the zone.
Okay,
how close are we now?
We're not close, but I'm gonna figure. Well, I got this figured out. I think I'm gonna delay. This is gonna be fun. We're gonna have a fun little game we're gonna play here.
All right, I got 1-2. Elly just fouled off the fastball. I got 6, 5, 4.
I mean, you're a little behind. I'm not gonna ruin it for you. I'm gonna let you see everything. Let you see everything in real time. I'm gonna react when I think you're close to knowing.
All right. Respectfully, I think the chat and everyone watching this would much rather get your genuine reaction when things happen. So
yeah, no,
it's okay if you want to.
No.
If you want to ruin it for me.
No, I'm not going to ruin it for you.
All right.
Good at bat. Where are you at?
Good at bat. There we go.
All right. Yeah. We're close. I mean, yeah, real close.
I don't know how long you just delayed that.
No, I mean, I think G-Dub's going to have it written in the G-Dub's going to have it written in the old rag before you get to see it.
The joys of streaming. Are you not streaming tonight? Normally you're
I'm on the Fubo. I'm on the Fubo. I feel like that's streaming. You're on that. Yeah, you're on that. Oh my gosh,
we don't talk about it.
You're on. Yeah, you're on that. You're on that Russian lingo, or what do we? You're on that Russian lag.
Let's just hope that their lag is about the same if we ever fire nukes at them.
I feel like we're gonna Chatterbox Sports is gonna have to pay you in cable bills. We're just gonna buy you cable.
There you go. I'll only use it for red season, but hey.
Well, you have it all year. It's a gift. It's a gift from us. Well, we need to get another base runner. Is what we need. Let's put some pressure.
Last time we did the show together, we were like pretty synced up right off the bat. So I don't know what's going on tonight. Tonight just
maybe that was like an Apple TV thing or something. Who knows? Yeah. But we need base runners.
Yeah, I'll play with it at some point and see if we can't get it caught up. Let's see if I change my player. Does that change anything?
No, I don't. Settings. I feel like you should stick with what you got.
You think?
Yeah, it's fine. It's really fine. I mean, you're 2 pitches behind, but you're fine.
It's fine. No big deal. All right, I just changed my player. Let's see if this does anything.
I don't know. You might be ahead of me now. Who knows? You're in the 6th inning?
I got a 2-2 count. That's all I know. But I think there have been foul balls and stuff, so hard to know.
Let's fight, Greg. Let's fight. Let's battle. Let's battle like the season's on the line. The season's on the line. Let's find a way. Come on, Tyler. One time.
Ball 3. That's where I'm at. If that
one time, Tyler.
Did I get any closer? Oh. I don't like this. Or maybe I really like this. Come on, Ty. Did you just smoke this ball? Oh my God, did he? No. Come on. Why are you getting me so excited? I thought you were like going to hit this ball out of the park and tie it up.
It's a double, Greg. What do you want from me? It's Tyler Stevenson. God bless America. That's a miracle we just witnessed. And you're over here downplaying a double? You're downplaying a double? What do you want from me? God bless Tyler Stevenson. Holy smokes.
1 out, 2-run double runners on second and third. The tying run and scoring position.
Cal Gill, he's going to have to figure out a better haircut. I mean, with all due respect, man.
Who's running?
Who else but Stuart Fairchild would run in a situation like this?
He didn't get a double on that?
Or yeah, he got a double. He got a double.
Pitching change. All right. Are you sure? Yeah, he says he's on second.
I mean, the graphics staring me right in the face.
Can Terry do it again?
One time.
Can Terry do it again?
One time. Can we please just get lucky? I don't give a damn how we win this game. I'm all the way back if we win. I'm all the way back, and I'm all the way out if we lose. That's how I'm living tonight. One time, please, Terry. Ball.
Good to know I didn't really catch up.
Please, dude. Please. It just feels like I'm just going to say it because I would jinx it. We never cash in these spots. Come on, TJ.
Since you said it and don't want to jinx it, I'll say it. At least we can't ground into a double play.
I know, but we can line into one. So let's hope we don't do that.
Oh man, don't say that.
Also, shallow fly balls. We do not need to go home, Elly. We don't need to go home.
Your run means nothing, Elly. Your run means nothing.
I mean, it doesn't mean anything unless the guy behind you scores, and the whole fly ball thing's scaring the shit out of me, if we're being honest. But I'll take a base hit. Come on. Close. Come on, Terry. I mean, I know you hit a grand slam, and that's cool and all.
Is it
that
too
was
much
the
to ask for 7 RBIs?
No.
Is it too much to ask
No,
for 7 RBIs?
No. Oh, Terry.
Well,
you seen the ball in the air, right? You at least got that far.
Yeah.
All right, Ty. You wanna let's make a name for yourself. Oh, that was quick.
Oh. Did you get hit? Oh, yep, sure did. You know I'm behind when the Chatterbox Reds score bug updates before my TV gets there. Nick is behind the scenes updating the score bug before I even see him get hit.
Jameer, I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to set me off one way or the over this guy. It's a ball. It's a ball. Thank you. There's no coming back for this for Jameer if we can't do it. I need it. I just need it. I'll take a lucky flare. Oh, okay. All right. We got to be ready to hit, Craig. We got to be ready to hit. This isn't a time. This is not a time to be scared.
A walk's a run, Trace. A walk's a run. Takes off his headset. I have a feeling we're doing a show. Yep. There it is. Nick, run the intro.
High drive, left center field, racing back to the Laurel Bourgeois. The Reds are National League Central Division champions. In the air, left center field. Did he? He did! Reds win! Win! Line to the right field. Genius, the first run ever. With 4 home runs in a game. Can you believe it? In the air, down the right field line. Doesn't have a chance. The Reds have won on a 3-run home run on opening day by Ramon Hernandez. A strike away and out away is Homer Bailey. Ground ball to third. Frazier gloves. Throw to first, and Homer Bailey, for the second time in his major league career, has tossed the no-hitter. Oh, gosh. Are you kidding me? Holy Moses, the second player in major league history to hit 7 home runs in the first 10 games. In the air, and the Reds win. What a dream beginning to the career of Trey Bruce.
I'm dead. There's really no other way of saying it. I don't know how I'm going to do this show. I just literally had my heart ripped out of me. Craig, we had every chance in the world. every chance in the world to find a way to come back and win this baseball game, and we decided that we didn't have what we call nut cutters around in Chatterbox. We don't have enough nut cutters. Now, TJ Friedl, by all stretch of the imagination, he gets a pass. He hit a grand slam, which even got them in this game. But I know you're getting ready to do the box score recap, but we had 3-1, tying run on second base, lazy fly out. 2-0, tying run on second base. And I know the exit velocity, I just looked it up. It's 102 off the bat, but it just, what seemed like a weekly rolled over ground ball by Candelario. And here we are. Going to have to do a show tonight. And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we'll have some discussion, some fun banter, but it just like, this is the story of the season, Craig. They've not done what they did last year a few times. Like over a course of 3 or 4 or 5 games, you swing those in the Reds' favor, and you find yourself in a position where we're genuinely excited about postseason baseball, or at least fighting for postseason baseball. And they've not one time feel like they've capitalized on these opportunities. Go all the way back to the Detroit Tigers series to open the series up, and I'm sure I'm missing plenty of them, but just can't cash in when it means the most, it feels like.
It's just clearly not a team that's a playoff team. I mean, we've talked so much about if you can sneak in the damage you could potentially do with this starting rotation, despite the fact that Abbott has not looked good over the last month or so. But it just time and time again seems like series or games that they should win, the Reds just come up short. And we've talked about them kind of playing up to their competition or playing down to their competition in this scenario all year long. And ultimately, at some point, they've got to come up in clutch moments. And that seems to be a never-ending story with them. Time and time again, looking for clutch hits. You know, they've got very few guys on this roster who have shown an ability to really step up. And, you know, one of them, Spencer Steer, not in the lineup today. He's been, you know, ice cold over the last couple of weeks. And it just it's frustrating, you know, and like we were talking about in the pregame show or during the 9th inning, it's really tough to say that you should expect to sweep a series or to be disappointed in winning 3 out of 4. But it's the Miami Marlins. They're 42-72 coming into tonight. Yeah. And you're facing a guy making his 4th major league start who tops out at 92 miles an hour. It just, a Major League Baseball team shouldn't have that kind of
blanked, and they got blanked by him, by the way. Not that they lost the game, but they also got blanked by him basically. And we'll talk about it here in just a moment. But before we do all those things, we'll obviously stick to the rundown here. I'm sure that this show will probably go off the rails from time to time. We'll do our best to keep it on the rails and keep things relatively insightful and interesting. But first, we'll do the box score recap presented by Craig Sandlin this time. Not myself. I don't know. I know Kirby's back there running the 1s and 2s. I don't know if he's going to throw up a nice little, like, at least a coming soon graphic or something. Look at that. Some are saying Kirby's some are saying big league. Some are saying big league. Not me, but some.
Is this ESPN or Chatterbox?
That's Shang and that's Shang and Lin type performances. Take it away, Craig.
Despite what you say, the box score recap, as always, brought to you by Nicholas P. Kirby. The 55-58 Reds were looking to secure a series victory in Game 3 of 4 with the Miami Marlins on Wednesday night. After taking the first 2 games of the series, Andrew Abbott on the bump for the Reds, looking to turn around his stretch of subpar starts. Valente Belloso got the start for the 42-72 Marlins. Belloso's 4th career start comes after his best outing as a major leaguer, taking a no-hitter into the 5th inning against the Braves in his last start. Jake Berger gets the Marlins on the board early. He sent a first-pitch fastball to center field for a solo home run. Abbott would then load the bases full of Marlins, including 2 via the walk. And Derek Hill would drive a ball deep to center field for a grand slam, giving the Marlins the early 5-0 lead. The Marlins would add a run in the bottom of the fifth as Jake Berger yet again connected on an Andrew Abbott changeup for a solo home run, his second of the game. Abbott would escape the inning without any further damage thanks to a rocket from Jake Friedl as he gunned down Jesus Sanchez, who was attempting to go first to third on a line drive single by Otto Lopez. The Marlins led 6-0, and Andrew Abbott's day was done. His line on the day, not a pretty one. 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, and 3 home runs on 104 pitches. The 6 runs matches Andrew Abbott's career high. On the bright side, Abbott did have a stretch from the end of the first inning through the fifth, where he retired 12 of 13 batters he faced, but the walks and home runs do him in the end. A 2-out infield single by Jeimer Candelario would chase Marlins starter Valente Belloso from the game in the top of the sixth. The Marlins rookie looks stellar yet again. He goes 5 2/3, scatters 5 hits, and allows no runs, tallying 4 strikeouts and 2 walks. Declan Cronin would come in and get out of the inning for the Marlins, who maintained their 6-0 lead. The Reds would get their first 2 batters of the seventh aboard as Fraley and Espinal both singled. After India popped out, and the Marlins would go to their bullpen to force Elly De La Cruz to bat from the right side. Andrew Nardi struck out De La Cruz, but then walked Tyler Stevenson, and TJ Friedl gave the Reds new hope. He sent an 0-2 Nardi fastball deep to right for his first career grand slam, bringing the Reds within 2 at 6-4. Justin Wilson worked a perfect seventh. Justin Wilson and Alexis Diaz combined to strike out the side in the bottom of the 8th for the Reds, and the Reds head to the 9th trailing 6-4, looking for some Miami magic. The Reds were able to load the bases, but a Candelario ground out to second to end the game would leave the Reds in defeat. The Marlins win 6-4. Andrew Abbott falls to 9-9 on the season, and the Reds drop to 55-59. The Reds and Marlins wrap up their 4-game series Thursday at 6:10 p.m.
We had a deep drive of the day. It was a big home run. I mean, it put the season back on track. And there was plenty of time left to make a comeback. And you know what? Kudos to TJ Friedl for doing it. 6th home run of the year, 100 miles an hour off the bat, 396 feet. It gave the Reds win probability a whopping 12% chance, and as we all know, it would ultimately be 0, but it sure the hell did not feel like that towards the end of this game. But as always, the Deep Drive of the Day is sponsored by DSC, Deep South Commodities, and they are a leader in renewable commodities for biofuel production, specializing in used cooking oil collection, aggregation, and sales. Visit www.deepsouthcommodities.com for more information, and thank you to John and his team. Yeah, well, I mean, here we go. Missed opportunities. I thought that there was a puncher's chance there, and they had every bit of an opportunity towards, not just, let's face it, not just in the 9th. And here's the thing, and I know the last 3 outs are always the hardest outs to get in baseball. It's why closers certainly make more money than your traditional, or a good closer makes more money than your traditional bullpen arm. And I understand the 9th inning has a little bit more charm to it, but I just want to know, why does it always take us so damn long to have the types of at-bats we always seemingly have in the 9th inning when it's a close game, when we need it the most? I'm not saying they always get the big hit, but by God, we always find ourselves a chance with 2 guys on, bases loaded, 1 guy on here or there, whatever it may be, and we always find a way to have better at-bats towards the end of these games. Now, maybe you could argue that it's just coincidence, and maybe it is. But it certainly I'd like to have the approach when your season's damn near dead. It'd be one thing if you were the Braves and you fell asleep for a week and a half because you were 15 games over 500 and you might have just been thinking that, you're invincible. Well, newsflash, season's on the line. You're damn near dead, if not already dead. You're playing against a team that you're better than. Why does it take so damn long to have better at-bats? Now, again, I know it's 1 game. I'm not going to get too crazy about it. But I just... And then when you get the chance, you just don't deliver. And that seems like that's just poetic justice for this team. That's 100% par for the course. So I don't know. You out hit him 10-8, Craig. And I know we didn't, listen, Berger is a big reason why you hit 2 home runs and you walk a couple guys. That certainly helps. But I don't know. I don't have an answer for it. I don't know if you have an answer for it either.
I mean, no, I don't have an I wish I had an answer for it, but I don't. I think the one thing I'll say is that, for what it's worth, Belloso has looked very good early on in his career here. His 4 starts, all very solid starts. But at the end of the day, somebody's got to step up and make a clutch hit, have a good at-bat, whatever it may be. Last season, the Reds had 40 come-from-behind wins. 40, Trace.
Yeah.
They're at 18 this year. 18. They have 1 walk-off win, and it came in the opening series of the season. Last season, they had 10 walk-off wins.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. Look, they at one point, I think it was in the let's see, in the second inning, maybe, I don't know. They had 4 balls over 100 miles an hour and just got 1 single off of Belloso. Off of those 4 balls over 100 miles an hour. I felt like they put on some good swings, to be honest. There were a couple of balls that Miami made some really good plays on that I thought could have gone the other way. But it's frustrating. And I just, Nick and I are Mr. Positives. We are very positive people, but it just gets old. It does. And
it's one thing
tough,
to hit balls hard.
and
It's another thing to stretch out at bats, it's another thing to stretch out at bats. That 9th inning, and again, maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe it is, Craig. But they battled their asses off, man. Like they that wasn't handed to them. The at bat by Stevenson was foul off a pitch, foul off a pitch, foul off a pitch, take a close pitch, and then again, yes, he got a hit. But it just seemingly becomes apparent to me that it reminds me of like the kid that goes to school that for whatever reason gets shitty grades until the report card comes home and his parents get all pissed off, and then all of a sudden, boom, now it's time to fix it. I don't know. And again, hopefully people aren't going to take my words that I'm saying right now and turn this into a David Bell issue. I'm looking strictly at the players, okay? Like, these guys are grown men. They're grown men. They're adults. Doesn't require I hope David Bell doesn't have to be a cheerleader every single day and be like, all right, guys, let's make sure we lock it in the very first inning and on better at bats. Now, I'm not saying that isn't part of his job, but you know what? Candelario, I will openly admit about him, I think he wants to be a leader. He wanted to be a leader on this team. He wanted to be outspoken and all that. He just hasn't delivered the goods when it means the most for this team. And it sucks. Simple as that.
Well, let's talk about the guy who has delivered the goods for this team, and that's Jonathan India. And then, in the second inning, he comes up with bases loaded and he strikes out looking. And, it's just big moments you can't have at bats like that where, you end up striking out looking on, quite frankly, if I remember correctly, a middle fastball. Like, the ball wasn't on the corner, it wasn't at the top or the bottom of the zone. It was just a ball that realistically he should have like smoked for a double to the gap. It just, you can't have that. And whether it's people guessing at the plate, I know a lot of people love to question the Reds' approach at the plate and the hitting coach's, philosophy there. But at the end of the day, these are professional athletes and they have to come through in the clutch, and they have not been able to do that this year for whatever reason.
Yeah. All right. Well, they didn't get it done. Simple as that. Another guy that didn't get it done, and I know that he's going to be the topic of conversation mostly because when you look at the scoreboard, you realize that you give up, a significant amount of runs in the first inning, and then you have a late comeback and you ultimately fall short. Some people are going to get frustrated they couldn't get the big hit, and then after that kind of subsides a little bit, they're going to come after Andrew Abbott. Now we have to have a discussion, I guess, at this point about what Andrew Abbott looks like from not just now, but for the remainder of the year. Is he somebody that we can rely upon? And it mostly stems back to from last season, because this is eerily similar. I don't want to overly forecast this already and say that it's just going to be doomsday from here on out for Andrew Abbott, but it does make you question it, and you have to start to ask the obvious question, or the elephant in the room: is he going to be able this season? And if it's not this season, when will he turn the corner on being able to finish a season strong? And I guess time will tell, but do you have any concerns about Andrew Abbott, or do you think this is just kind of a blimp on the radar and you just move on?
Well, no, I definitely have concerns about Andrew Abbott, and Nick and I talked about it before the trade deadline, that Nick thought that Andrew Abbott was a prime target to try and trade away and trade at the top of his market. And one of the reasons that it made sense to do that is because Andrew Abbott gives up a ton of long balls, and he's been lucky so far this year that a majority of those long balls have been in the solo variety, but he leads the majors with giving up 23 home runs on this season so far. In 7 career starts in August, Andrew Abbott now 24 earned runs in 33 innings in 7 starts, 7.27 ERA in the month of August. So yeah, I do have concerns for multiple reasons. One is, can he complete a season? 2, and potentially more importantly, is that if he's going to continue to be plagued by the long ball, ultimately the stats are going to catch up to him, and it's not going to be solo shot after solo shot after solo shot. It's going to be what we saw tonight with a grand slam that ultimately did the Reds in.
Yeah, and listen, I know some people are going to point to the missed pitch at the bottom half of the zone that would have been strike 3. Would have given him 2 outs in the inning. Maybe it would have boosted his confidence. I just don't like doing that every single time there's a missed call. You know, you got to battle through some adversity from time to time. Was it a big deal? Yes, it was, Craig. Do I think it was a very meaningful call? Yes. Do I think that there's a significantly different outcome if he gets that strike 3 call versus not? I do. But I'll also openly admit that the Reds were fortunate on a call in the 9th inning that looked like a strike that could have been strike 3, and they didn't call it a strike 3. And the next thing you know, if Candelario capitalizes and hits a double that scores 3 runs, we're not bringing up that pitch either. So those pitches happen more times than we want to admit. The only difference is, and the only time we bring it up, is whether or not you're able to execute after the missed call or not. And Abbott's a guy that has got to find a way to make sure that he limits walks. And then you mentioned it. The reason I guess that he's been fortunate is because if he has done anything relatively well earlier this season was that he's been in the zone and he forces guys to put balls in play. And more times than not, that works. It just does. If you have decent stuff, that works. Tonight, that wasn't really what happened. And he got touched up a little bit. And I don't want to sit here and kill Andrew Abbott, but at the same time, it kind of felt like this was due. He was due for this. And the Reds still had a chance. And that's what sucks. Is like, as much as I want to be upset about Andrew Abbott's performance, what's more concerning to me is that you had a guy on the mound that I don't know. I'll openly say I don't think is very good. And you just kind of suffered through what was 5-0 and then 6-0. Almost as if like you're sleepwalking through the game, and then TJ Friedl gets a big hit, and then it's almost like, oh wow, let's try to find a way to win now. I don't know. It's just I'm not too. I know people are going to kill me for saying this. I'm not too frustrated about the starting pitching, and I'm not too frustrated about the obviously the bullpen did great, but it all comes back around to me like finding a way to help these guys out when they need it, and they weren't able to do it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I think, ultimately Andrew Abbott has never been a high strikeout guy. He's always been a pitch to contact guy, get guys out, in play. And the problem is that every once in a while, guys are just squaring him up. And there's plenty of pitchers who are very successful in this league by letting guys hit their ball with, minimal power. And unfortunately right now, especially this year, Andrew Abbott has not been able to avoid that power. And I don't know enough about his shape or anything like that to know, is it an issue with the movement on the ball? Is it that his pitches are easily picked up out of the hand by batters? What is it? I don't know. But what I do know is that if you're going to be a contact pitcher and not strike out a lot of guys, you better have a decent movement to make sure the guys are rolling over on balls. You better also be switching up your pitch mix to make sure that guys are out on their front feet, guessing, don't know what's coming from you. And, they talked about it during the broadcast that he was relying too much on certain pitches to try and get outs, and that the opposing teams were catching up to that. Well, he may have overcorrected. Ultimately you've got to have a mix, and for whatever reason, players are just able to square up in Andrew Abbott.
All right, jumping down the timeline here, we have Terry Lee on the rundown. Listen, TJ Friedl, he provided an opportunity for the Reds to win a baseball game, and you know what? Like, that's the other thing that sucks. Is that, and I don't mean to be like this guy, but we're one swing away. We're one swing, literally one swing away from winning this baseball game, in my opinion. But we're also one swing away from getting shut out. And I mean, you can say whatever we want, but that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous that the Marlins are going to run out who they had tonight and possibly shut you out. Again, it's a big if. He hit it. I give him credit. It was a home run. But if he misses that ball by a fraction of an inch and it's a fly out, did the Reds score a run tonight? I don't know. Probably, maybe not. But I'll also openly admit that if Jeimer Candelario squares up a pitch tonight and the Reds go home, they're winning. Those are the differences when you look back through a baseball season about, sadly going to the postseason and not going to the postseason. And I know this team, we're in dead ass last right now. We're in DFL. And I maybe I shouldn't bring up the postseason, but I went back through when we were doing the contact play situation, and I went back through the MLB film room and I watched a billion different plays, and you just forget all of the unique opportunities that present themselves throughout a major league season. And you're looking at a handful, like 30 over the course of a year, that are probably the difference between 6, 7, 8, 9 different, wins. And obviously those are worth double if you want to look at it from a win-loss perspective. And that's why losing tonight hurts so bad, is because you had a chance to get closer to 500 or get back to 500. And now you got to win tomorrow just to make up the ground you lost tonight. So, we'll find out, what this team has in store. But give TJ Friedl some credit. It's a shame we haven't had him all season, and hopefully he stays healthy.
Yep. I don't think there's much more you have to say to that. I mean, at the end of the day, he gave the Reds life, and unfortunately wasn't able to come through in the ninth with a similar outcome. He had a chance. Really could have been a hero, but at the end of the day, he makes this lineup better. Good for him on the home run, first career grand slam, but outcome's still the same.
He's a necessity if this team wants to be competitive, in my opinion. Like I think he's, as much as we've talked about Matt McClain, we've talked about, CES, TJ Friedl needs to be numero uno, okay, when we're talking about guys that need to stay healthy for this team to be competitive. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe one of these other guys will bounce back and look good, whether it be Benson or I know he's on the rundown here in just a minute, but maybe it'll be Weimer. We'll have that discussion later. Doubtful, but we'll find out. But I also want to say, if you're looking to go to a game, perhaps a concert here in September, maybe concerts, maybe football games, maybe baseball, if you're really looking to go down to the ball yard, you can download the Game Time app. And if you download the Game Time app, you're going to find out that you can, too, look to see where your tickets are going to be. Also, at the same very time, it will give you a deal rating, and it'll give you lightning deals from time to time. Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Use code CINCY, C-I-N-C-Y. You get $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. So please use the code CINCY, C-I-N-C-Y. Help us out. Help yourself out. And get $20 off your first purchase. On a night like tonight, quite frankly, 988 is very appropriate. When we do a show like this, I do think it helps because it gives you some time to kind of just spew your thoughts. And then by the time you get to go to bed, you're like, all right, well, It's just baseball. We'll get back to it. But I gotta be frank. If there wasn't a show tonight, I don't know. I'd probably be walking the neighborhood as we speak right now with some headphones in, just thinking about how Candelario is piss poor from time to time. But that's here nor there. Shout out 988. What do you think the ringtone is for 988? What do you think it is? Like if you called it right now, let me try to call it.
I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend.
Yeah, here, hold on. Anyway, I can't do it tonight. I'm trying to make jokes to make myself feel better, and I just can't do it because you know why? I mean, I'm genuinely like, that was it, guys. I don't know if you know, but that was it. That was it. I mean, Hunter Green going tomorrow too. We'd have shoved it right down their face. Been 500. What could have been? Reds bullpen though, they gave themselves a chance to win again tonight. I mean, I don't know how many times we've said that this season. It's like the same song and dance. Might as well just grab some random show that we've done 35 other times this season, and then let's just hit the play button, let Kirby just run through the rundown, and we'll just go on our merry way and go to bed. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Justin Wilson, shout out to Justin Wilson. Got some outs tonight. I'll say one last thing. I'll let you talk. Diaz has been slept on by me for too long. I'm just going to openly say it. Diaz has been amazing. He has been amazing. I hope it continues. I hope I'm not jinxing him. But he has thrown the ball incredibly well, and he did it again tonight. So shout out to the bullpen. Kudos to them.
Yeah, the bullpen tonight, Jacob Junis, Justin Wilson, and Alexis Diaz combined for 3 innings, gave up 2 hits but no runs, kept the Reds in this for sure. Jacob Junis gave up the 2 singles, but fielders' choices erased those runners pretty quickly. I thought the bullpen in general has been extremely underrated this entire season. The Reds bullpen, as it sits right now, 8th in the major leagues with a 3.65 ERA on the season. And, they don't rack up the saves because it feels like the Reds, every time they win a game, win it by 8. But the numbers for the Reds are very solid in the bullpen. And I think that we as a fan base need to recognize that. I think we talked a lot about the bullpen being a place where potentially the Reds could look to make some moves at the deadline. But at the end of the day, this is a bullpen that, combined with the starting pitching, gives you a chance. And they did it again tonight. Hold the Marlins to 3 innings with no runs. It just, it feels like when you have a lead, you feel pretty comfortable with them. When you don't have a lead, you feel like they're going to give you a chance to come back if you take it. And I don't think you can ask for much more than that. And they don't get enough credit, even though we talk about them every night. So wanted to take a minute and specifically call out the bullpen, even on a tough night like tonight.
Jumping down the rundown here, Benson Weimer. Benson's basically he's on the side of a milk carton at this point.
Well, so it's on here because Will Benson just got activated. He was on the paternity list.
Yep.
They option obviously Joey Weimer down back to Louisville.
Yep.
Joey Weimer didn't get any sort of an opportunity to do anything. He had 1 plate appearance in the 2 games that he made an appearance in. So, it could just be that the Reds aren't ready to commit to him. I don't really know that there's a whole lot of other options anyway, but Will Benson is back. You didn't see him tonight, which was interesting. I thought with a right-hander on the mound, you're throwing Santiago Espinal out in left field, despite the fact that Will Benson is back with the team. Felt odd to me, but I get it. Espinal's hot right now. Maybe you just want as bad in the lineup, but I don't know. Candelario's not hot, so do we really need to force him into the DH role? I don't know. I think it's just an overall conversation about that, but we don't have to spend a whole lot of time on it. I just thought it was interesting.
No, that's fair.
The outcome for tonight was was interesting as well, or the lineup for tonight.
Well, I think Weimer with the swing change, coupled with the fact that I don't expect the Reds to think that he's going to make that big of a difference maker at the big league club one way or the other right now, to be clear, makes it to where they're going to try to get him as many at bats as he humanly can, and that's going to be in AAA. And I think that's the same sentiments towards Rhys Hines, even though many of us felt frustrated that you're deciding to send down a guy that was genuinely helping this team win, and I get all the reasons why. We've already hashed those out, but yeah, I mean, I don't think it's very kind of shocking by any stretch of the imagination that they were going to send Weimer down. Benson's going to be I guess an interesting follow. We'll call it that. An interesting follow the rest of the season. We'll see how it pans out, but he's one of the few guys on this team I just have no clue about. I got no clue about. I can't figure out if he's going to turn it on, and next thing you know, he looks very much like he's the guy that he was most of last year, or is he just going to be a flash in the pan where he had, 5 or 6 good months in the big leagues, and literally that's it. So he's had some good months this season. It's just that he had such a bad month. It's kind of put a sour taste in most people's mouth about the rest of the months combined. So, I don't have much to add to that situation. I think it's pretty straightforward, and we'll see what ultimately ends up happening. And Weimer's a guy that probably maybe in September, maybe he gets some more opportunities towards the end of the season once some things play out, depending on where the Reds are at. But I don't have a problem with it per se.
No problem. And again, a couple days away for Will Benson may have been a good thing for him. And we've seen some other players on the team who have had success once they become dads. So maybe Will Benson is next on the list to have a breakout now that he's had his child. Just one last thing, and shout out to our friend Bryce Spalding for pointing this out. Part of the reason, and I'm going to get the chat fired up about this, I know I am, I apologize in advance. Part of the reason the Reds are in this situation and why every game matters so much is because there was a stretch in April and May where they went 6-20. And during that time, they were largely understaffed. They had guys out due to injury, but they would be on the active roster for multiple days before going on the IL. They, had illnesses. Jake Fraley missed multiple days due to illness and wasn't added to the IL for part of it. I mean, they were down a man or multiple men for a majority of that time frame, and they go 6-20. Outside of that 26 game stretch, this team is 49-38. And to Bryce's point, if during that 26 game stretch you just go 9-17, 8 games under 500, 9-17, we're talking about a completely different team. You're talking about 58-55 in their standings, 2.5 games back of a wild card spot. It is insane how that 26 game stretch at the beginning of the season has come back to bite this team in the what.
Yeah, I mean, well, they all matter. I mean, I think that here's the thing I want to say then. If we're allowed to say, if we're going to talk about the 6-20, you know what I don't want to hear anymore? I don't want to hear the bullshit that's 1-162. I don't want to hear, it's only April and May. Everybody calm down. David Bell and Nick Krall got this whole thing figured out. We can play a man down for a week and a half if we need to. It's not a big deal. CES is allowed to figure it out. Whether he's got a broken hand or not, we don't know. I mean, CS might have a broken hand. He might not. He's going to be, we'll figure it out as we go.
162 is completely different than 26 of 162.
Well,
we're talking about two different things.
But I'm just saying, I don't want to hear next year in the middle of April
matters even
or
more
May.
Because you took those 4 weeks and decided to play with 2 men down. Every game matters now even more because of that. Not because every game matters. Every game, sure, it matters. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But 1-162 makes a lot more sense when you're not spending 4 weeks of it playing behind the 8 ball and going 6-20.
I mean, I'm all for it. I'm just wondering who gets the blame for when we have a bunch of guys that are obviously injured that we decide we're going to hold on to because maybe we don't want to put them on the DL because they're going to be back in a couple of days. And hell, a couple of days turns out it's the rest of the season. I mean, CS ain't been back all year. So That was a dynamite drop in from the either the medical staff, David Bell or Nick Kroll. I don't know who the hell is responsible for it, but something to keep an eye on. I'm just saying. I mean, listen, next year I'm gonna remind everybody that we went 6-20 during the beginning of the year when it was still cold outside, and those games matter. They all matter, and unfortunately, this team, they kind of dug themselves a hole that I don't think they're going to be able to get themselves out of. And we'll see if they can or they can't. I don't know, but
yeah, they're just not good enough to have. And Rick points it out in the stream. This is a decent baseball team, and it's not a good baseball team. And the 6-20 is one thing, but they haven't matched that with any sort of elongated streak of wins either, right? So it's one thing if you go through that, but when you can't make up those games and you just continue to meddle and drop a game to the Miami Marlins or drop a series to the Washington Nationals or drop a series to somebody, the Colorado Rockies or whatever it may be.
Yeah. Get swept by the Tigers.
That's what ultimately adds up to it. Swept by the Tigers. Like
lose 2 or 3 to the Marlins at home.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like that's the things that matter. And it just, I don't know. I'm frustrated. I'm sure you're frustrated. I'm sure the chat is frustrated. Blame whoever you want. Blame David Bell. Blame the medical staff. Blame Nick Kroll.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
I think Nick Kroll, listen, the front office deserves a little bit of blame. I mean, we can say whatever we want, and I'm not suggesting that they should get fired. It's like there's this weird thing in the fan base where it's like, oh, they either fire them or they're great. I just, look, if you thought that this team was genuinely capable of hanging around, then there needed to be a little bit more depth to some areas that ultimately needed some help. And I got news for you. The real big reason as to why this team struggled is because one guy in particular that they paid decent money to was a no-show during that time. Candelario was a no-show the entire time of that losing streak or whatever you want to call it. So we'll see. I mean, I know Candy had a good month, but it seems like he's good. He's kind of going right back down to where he was at before, and we'll find out what his stats are at the end of the season. But, it's frustrating because obviously Marte was a big piece of that as well, and CES struggled, and then it all fell apart really fast. Yeah. As good as it all went last year, it felt like it went just as bad this year.
Well, and the reason why I'm so hesitant to blame Nick Kroll in the front office is because the pieces feel like they are there. But especially that early season, you're talking about guys like CES, guys like Matt McLean who are out, guys like Noelvi Marte who missed the entire first half. TJ Friedl has missed a majority of the season. Like, you had the pieces, to me, to be a decent ball club, to be a good ball club, and it just did not come together. And I don't, you can blame the strength and conditioning staff for not having the team ready from an injury perspective. You can blame doctors for Noelvi Marte taking the wrong medication or whatever it may have been. I still struggle to blame Nick Kroll in the front office when you had the pieces that everybody around here this entire offseason was talking about. The pieces were good enough to be an 85 to 90 win team,
right?
And it just didn't happen.
Yeah, except for Vegas. They didn't think that. And that's what I want to know, is that maybe they were right all along. Turns out you shouldn't rely upon all the ravaged fan bases that have been starving for 30 effing years for your justice of whether or not you got a good team or not. Because I do remember back in the day when there was people calling into the big one saying that this team was going to win 88 games or 90 games, and I looked at this roster and I think they ended up winning like 67. So the fan base is always going to think that they have a chance to win. But I do agree with the sentiment as a whole. But I think at this point now, we got all of our expectations need to simmer down and see what we actually have. And the sad truth is I'm not sure what the hell we have. We'll find out.
Look, but in the famous words, I don't know when I'm going to put this headset back on, and I don't know where what the Reds are going to be when that happens.
Yeah,
I made a trip home last week. Was in Cincinnati, and I found people are commenting on my hat. So I found this 1990 World Series hat at my house in my closet, and I was ready. I was ready. If the Reds could complete the comeback tonight, I was ready to change my hat and put this on. I was ready, Trace.
What happened?
I couldn't close the deal. Couldn't close the deal. Gave up 6 runs, home runs. All I can say is I hope one day I can feel comfortable enough to put back on the World Series hat.
Yeah.
And that this team can bring the type of energy that the 1990 wire-to-wire team brought. For now, it'll sit on the hat rack in the closet.
Yeah.
Just waiting to be unearthed.
Well, the good news is TJ Friedl did help us get closer to the run differential banner that we could all buy at the end of the season. The run differential banner. I mean,
yeah, the unfortunate part is that
losing with 6-0. We don't want to lose 6-0. Let's make sure if we're going to lose, make it 6-4.
Well, to be fair, the difficult part is that Candelario couldn't even draw a walk to make it a 1-run loss because that's the most important stat.
That is true. So, yeah.
So that's the real disappointing thing here is they couldn't get it within 1.
Yeah, I don't know. Reds MILB, how are we doing this? What's the plan?
Well, something tells me that we're going to be joined by a special guest any moment.
Well, let me see what I can do here. I think there's a way to do it. It's just a matter of me figuring it out. I think that if I go like this,
I thought he was running singular.
He is. He's here. I'm going to bring him in. I'm going to bring him in when I'm ready. It's a matter of me trying to figure out. Oh, you named your call. That's what happened. All right, now we're good. Here we go. Ready? Just like that. Look who it is.
Oh no, I'm not Craig Salem though.
Lose that lower baller.
Well, that's on you. You're running that show.
Well, I didn't know where I was coming in here. I mean, come on, no one told me.
Well, I didn't say it. I didn't say you were told. I just said you had the keys to that castle.
Yeah. How's it going, fellas?
I mean, we've been better.
How does it sound like better? Nick? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Had a nice
day.
day.
You want to tell the people what you did today?
Yeah, I went to a doubleheader baseball game. Got there in the 6th inning of the first game, left in the 7th inning of the second game. So didn't watch a full game, but had a good time with the fam today.
There you go.
Well, I think you combined for a full game, right?
Yeah, I think I saw about 10 innings. So yeah.
Fair enough. Well, I can't wait to hear about what the Chattanooga Lookouts did tonight.
Well, it looks like Nick's still getting ready. Let's chat about the one nice story today from Reds MILB that I'm sure Nick was planning on talking about, and I'm going to ruin now. But cool story out of Louisville today. For those of you that haven't heard, the Reds signed right-handed pitcher Casey Kelly and assigned him to Louisville. Significance there is that Casey Kelly is the son of Louisville Bats manager Pat Kelly. So Pat and Casey, the first father-son duo in Louisville Bats history. So shout out to Casey Kelly and shout out to Pat Kelly. I can't imagine how cool that must be as a father to get a chance to coach your son at a professional level. Must be cool. So shout out to them.
Yeah.
Glad you had that. I didn't have that on the rundown. I only focused on the prospects, but shout out to that cool story.
Yeah, it was a cute story.
So much for Casey Kelly being added to the Reds top 30 prospect list.
He might have a hard time cracking the top 100, but cool story. Nonetheless, top 200.
Cool story, bro.
I think
all right,
have
Nick.
180. He's probably like 170. All right. Some Reds MILB action. Louisville, hey, they got a win. They've been struggling. They won 6-2 over Charlotte. Resigns 1 for 5, 3 strikeouts. Blake Dunn, good night for him. He's starting to play a little bit better, 3 for 5. Jacob Hurtaby's 0 for 4 with the walk. On the pitching side, several pitchers in action of note. Julian Aguilar, he continues to pitch well despite allowing 1 million base runners. He gave up 8 hits, but only gave up 2 runs over 5 2/3 innings. Lyon Richardson, really nice outing for him. 2 shutout innings, just gave up 1 hit, no walks. Reported that he was up at 99. The Reds have moved him to more of a bullpen, but a little more bullpen arm with some length, and he's been increasing his velocity, so that's pretty cool to see. And then Zach Maxwell threw a perfect inning as well. Down at Double-A, Chattanooga, they won 8-2 over Tennessee. Dominic Patelli on base twice. Austin Hendrick also on base twice. Stole a bag, his 14th of the season. Bubba Thompson, 3 for 4. Stole his 9th bag of the year. On the pitching side, Jose Acuna threw 3 innings. Didn't give up an earned run. He did give up 2 unearned runs. But didn't walk anyone, struck out 3. He's coming back. He's had a tough injury season, but a pitcher that I really like. And then Luis May, he threw 2 shutout innings as well. Dayton, they're in action right now. They're leading 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th in game 2 of their doubleheader. They lost game 1, 9-6. Kind of a wild game. It was suspended. Lake County led 3-0 in the 5th inning and ended up a 9-6 score. But Cam Collier walked twice. Carlos Jorge doubled. Leo Balcazar really coming on of late. 3 for 5 with his second home run of the year. Balcazar, a guy that was coming back off a really brutal, I think it was ACL injury. Had a really tough start to the year, but he was a guy that a lot of people really loved. Starting to play well here towards the end of the season. Also, Victor Acosta on base twice as well. And then Daytona, they won 5-4 over Tampa. Sammy Stafura, he stayed hot. Homers in back-to-back days, 2 for 5. Hit his 7th home run, stole his 21st bag of the year. Eastman Pineda, he's also hot, 2 for 4 with a double. Yerlin Confidant on base twice. And then Ariel Almonte hit his 18th homer of the year. Then out in the DSL, only one team in action. The DSL Reds fell 4-3 to the DSL Astros Blue. Adolfo Sanchez 0 for 3. Jervin Moriallo 2 for 4. And then Yeiko Soriano, a guy that's had a really good year, finally hit his first home run of the season. So shout out Mr. Soriano. That's your Reds of MILB.
How good's it feel, Nick, when you got to go to Adolfo Sanchez line and you just see that it's the same thing again, 0 for 3? You don't have to change it.
Like 3 or 4 days, I have not changed it on poor Adolfo.
I've noticed. It's like,
he's running out of gas. He's running out of gas. He's 17.
Yeah. Shouldn't you not run out of gas when you're younger? What is the line in that? What's the line in the sand on that? I've always wondered. It's like Andrew Abbott. He's getting tired. But Justin Verlander doesn't. The son of a bitch is like 42. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm getting tired walking up the steps. I never was tired when I was 17. Hell, I'd run up them. Just food for thought. I want you to sleep on that tonight. Give me an answer tomorrow.
Yes, boss.
I'm just saying, like, where's the line in the sand? Well, it's really tough for Andrew Abbott to get through the whole season. He's a young guy. He's 24. But when he's 26, it's all going to work itself out. I don't know. Interesting. Anyway, I just needed a win tonight, and I didn't get it. So if you're looking for me to be nice, I can't do it.
I had no comments on the game. I took the game off. I don't want to share any comments. I took that out of my brain tonight.
Good.
I'll be back tomorrow, better than ever.
Fair enough. All right, well, I don't know who's doing the who, what, when, where, and why, but God bless America. If you would turn it on tomorrow, we need Hunter Green. Take it away.
Hunter Green's pitched pretty well since July 1st, 3-0, 0.27 ERA, 40 strikeouts, 9 walks, has an active 21-inning scoreless streak. There's a million great stats on Hunter Green. I won't run through all of them. Green has actually not faced the Marlins, though, since 2022. Did pitch very well, though. Went 1-1 with a 1.46 ERA. 12 in the third innings, 1 walk, 14 strikeouts. His only career start at Lone Depot Park was on August 1st, 2022. 6 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 8 strikeouts. The only active Marlins hitter that's faced him is Jesus Sanchez, who's 1 for 4 with a double and 2 strikeouts. And just announced, right-handed pitcher Kyle Tyler, 20th round pick in 2018. He's been up and down several times this season. Does have a 3.06 ERA in 9 starts at AAA, but the peripheral number is not as kind. 4.05 FIP, 5.24 xFIP. He's made 3 starts since he got called up the most recent time in late July. 7.94 ERA, 21 hits and 8 walks in just 11 and a third innings pitched. Relies mostly on 4 pitches, a cutter, curveball, 4-seamer, and slider. 91 miles per hour fastball average. That's what the Reds are going up against tomorrow. 6:10. Different start time.
Again? Another 91
feels-
mile an hour fastball guy. We did so
that's
well
what
against it tonight. That I'm sure it'll be great. They probably saw how Beyozo did tonight and decided, hey, we got to throw the exact same guy tomorrow.
At least Belozo was pitching well, whereas this guy has not been pitching well.
We shall find out. I mean, if they win tomorrow, then the season's not completely dead. But damn, it feels like it. I don't know. Certainly feels like it. For those that are wondering, there will be a podcast tomorrow morning. And I would really appreciate it if you do me a favor. If you could just go on your favorite podcast platform and just download the app. Whatever it is, download the app. Leave it on your phone. Spotify, Apple Podcast, and those are two of the big ones. I know. My apologies to the other ones. I don't even know what the other ones are, but I know there's many of them. Point is, go find Chatterbox Reds. Give us a rating. Give us a review, because Nick needs every bit of help he can get right now. I got news for you. We need all the positive reviews. If you've not done a positive review yet, Nick needs it. He needs it. He's not quite to the necessary needs of 988, but by God, he needs a good review, and you can deliver that for him. So, until tomorrow, let's hope the Reds can figure out how to hit a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Sometimes it'll go all the way up to 91. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll figure it all out. Take care. Go Reds.